Hey guys, this is a tutorial on how to edit the the meditation videos using my movie, sorry. Um, Basically the first step, I will go over the steps and try not to talk, but the first step of course is always to import whatever media that we need, right? So in this case, what we need first of all is the video, of course, and then the audio. In this case, I will be using the Chinese, right? So first we get the video, and then we get the audio. Right, so now what we have to do is to select and drag the media to our editing timeline, sometimes called. And then, we just have to overlap it. All right, so here we have, you can see here, right, that the audio is way longer than our final video, so we have to make it match. So now first we have to hear.
就在我所居住的城市省城。
You can see here that we have these lines. This is called the audio print. And then the audio print basically tells you how things move around, and you can see how there may be some coincidences between this the audio in this video and the audio that we have below. All right. So the first thing we need to do is to cut the how do you call this thing? Well, yeah, to trim, sorry, not cut, to trim the video to the parts that are actually related to what we need. So I want you to notice something, guys. Check out the video. Check out the audio print of the video. We have this pattern, right? Like sound, silence, sound, silence, sound, silence, etc. And in this one, we have this tendency in which we have sound, silence, and then we have all of this, which is sound. This tells me, even though I don't speak the language, this tells me that something's going on here, meaning that most likely this audio is part of the class, because this does not match at all the audio print here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this playhead here to move it around and get as close as possible to this part, because this part seems to be the final part here. So what I will do is put it a little bit here, and then I will double click, right click or click with my 2 fingers, and then I will click on trim to playhead. Okay, and you can see how this is trimmed. And I will do the same here, as close as possible to the beginning of the audio. Then trim to playhead, and then we just drag to match the audio of the video. And now with my 2 fingers, I'm going to not pinch, but the opposite to pinch, like widen the range. And you can see how, yeah, it looks better. But you can see also here that we have this little playhead that, depending on how we move it, we get a more extended version of the video, the timeline. Let's call it the timeline. So now every time we get closer, we see more detail. You see? There's more detail here. So let's listen. Let's put the playhead here. This is called the playhead, by the way.
Here we go.
同学，有听到
Clear
我
your
的声音
throat.
吗？
Here we go.
同学，有听到
Clear
我的
your
声音
throat.
吗？
Okay. Let's try to click here. Let's click here. We're gonna have to select the video and then click with my two fingers or right click and then detached audio. And this is what is going to happen, right? Now we have the video, the audio of the video, and now we have the, this is the audio of the video. We can drag and drop to put everything in order, right? So this is the audio of the video. How do I know? Because the name corresponds to the file, you see? And this is the Chinese audio. Right, so what we're going to do now is, only for now, we will select the audio of the video and we are going to mute this audio. And how do we do that? We select and then we go up here and click on this little speaker icon, and then we click on the speaker icon again, and now it's mute. Why? Because we want to hear what's going on in the Chinese one. All right, so let's see.
同学，有听到我的声音吗？我在这里面。同学，有听到我的声音吗？我在这里面。没有听到老师的声音，请稍等。没有听到老师的声音，请稍等。
Okay, here the I'm not I'm not a Chinese speaker, but I can tell. Let's unmute again the audio of the video. I can tell that there's a discrepancy here. You see, it's not very similar to the original. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna delete all this. Oh, not delete, but trim it. So I'm gonna select it. I will go as near as I can. You can see here how there is. Let me try to do something here. Yeah, if we do this, we will get more detail. Can we? No, we can't. Anyway, you can see here how there's a little audio line here. So I'm gonna go as close as possible here, because that could be something. So I will trim to playhead. Oh, sorry. First we need to move the playhead, right? Select here, trim to playhead. Cool. Now we're good. Then we can drag and drop again. Well, not that. Okay, important thing. Now we don't drag and drop right to the edge, but to try to match to the audio of the meditation. And you can see how this begins to get a similar shape to the original audio, right? So I think we are getting there. We're getting close to this. So there are some stuff. Well, you have to keep in mind that this video is the final edit. So of course, you will be finding pieces that are no longer there. Okay, so we gotta be very careful to make sure that we edit properly. So what I like to do is try to match the pieces. Like for example, here it's obvious to me that this line should be with this one is this one is this. You can see how regardless of the language, the audio print matches pretty much the same. So here I can tell, we can tell, not I, we can tell, let me go back this way, that this piece here is the one belonging here, but we can see how there's a little empty or silent space here. Let me see if we can do this. Where is the playhead now? Yeah, here it is. You can see the silence here, okay? So that means that this part here is kind of like the introduction from Geshe Michael. So what we need to do is, let's trim. And now we try to match around. Again, same deal. You can see here in detail how this pretty much matches the original. So we trim here again. Oops. Very careful, guys. If you have to be very careful to put the playhead wherever you want to cut. Okay, if you cut somewhere where you shouldn't, you just click Command C or Control C depending on. Right, so now we get rid of this, and you can see this is very beautiful. You can see here, right on the edge of this file, let's call it, how there's a green line right here. I don't want to use the mouse because this white line will cover it, but you can see here this green line depending right here, right on top and below the other green file. File. Look, I move it and then if I go longer, look, can you see that green line? That's perfect, because that will help us to align the audio with whatever we have on top. So it seems like it goes something like this, right? You can see here, this is my reference now. But let's see the bigger picture. How does it look in the bigger picture? It kind of matches, but not perfectly. That means that we still need to work on it. We can use, for example, different parts of the audio to match. And here we can see, right? Now that we are closer, we can use these ones to match. Now, if you cannot move it anymore, exactly, that means that we have reached a part in which this audio is already on the edge. So what we do is we just, we hover on the edge of the video, of the file, and then you see these two arrows show up. And now we click and we drag, okay, to cut it. Right? Right now, I'm going to do something crazy, which is I'm going to go all the way here because I want to use this as a reference. So I'm going to drag closer, and I could even go crazier, guys, and I can go all the way there to make use of the beautiful tool of the line, green line there, that indicates how close am I to the edge. All right, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go even closer to make it as precise as possible. Right, you gotta be careful, and I would put the playhead right where I wanna work. That with the intention of, if I like, every time I get closer, it may be lost from the screen what I want to see. This time it didn't do it, but let's say it went like this. So if I click enter, the video should start. Yeah, cool. The video should start playing, and then the program automatically will bring my screen to the moment, to the place where the playhead is. All right. Okay, so let's go even crazier. Let's get as close as possible. And now we try to match it this way. Now, a very important thing is that this is a voiceover where we don't hear the original audio. So it doesn't have to match perfectly, but it's always nice to try to make it match. It is more professional, let's say. Now we go further, and we can see how everything now fits better, right? Let's get closer here. You can see here how it's starting to look more alike. Okay, right. So it is normal to see this tendency. I want you to notice this. Oh, what happened here? Where is my other file? What? Cool. Yeah. It is normal to see this tendency, guys, in which sometimes for example, we made this match, right, from the beginning, but now the next ones are not matching perfectly. This is normal. This is very, very normal, because sometimes the translator grasps what the speaker wants to say, So they basically synchronize their speech perfectly to the speaker, and sometimes sorry, depending on the language, they need to wait a little bit before understanding what the speaker wants to say. That's why even though we make the match here, some of the other parts of the audio are sorry, they don't match perfectly. So we have two options here. We can leave it like this, which is not a big problem because people will be meditating, and actually this kind of respects the spaces, the silent spaces. Or we can just go and split it. So we for example, let's click here to put our playhead here. We right click and then we select split clip, and then we move our part here and we make it match as much as possible, right? Again, you can see how now everything can look perfect. This is another perfect example. It matches here, but here it doesn't match anymore. You see? Yeah, so here, what can we say, guys? To be honest, I would rather to leave it to the way it is, meaning do not make it match perfectly, because again, you give enough space, silent space, to people to actually meditate. But since this is a fixed video, then we really need to make it work and not go longer than the length of the video. So we split again. We can get rid of a part of the video here, for example. Yeah, here. Now we go around here, okay? And I want you to notice something, guys. We haven't heard the audio yet. And I'm personally not a Chinese speaker, but you can see how the audio print perfectly match. Well, not perfectly, of course, but almost perfectly matches. So we know that we are on the right track. So here, again, playhead, split, match. Again, I'm gonna do this on all the pieces, and I'm gonna pause this video because it has gone long enough, and I want you to have a short tutorial, okay? So see you in a bit. Okay, guys, so this is done. You can see how most of them match perfectly, and now in this last part we have the opposite. You can see how this one is before the original audio. So we click the playhead, and pretty much it's basically the same. We just, instead of dragging to the right, we drag to the left. And now I wanted to show you something. Here at the end, the final audio has this little bell, right? So check it out. Okay.
Then you can
And now
open your
Geshe
eyes
Michael
slowly.
wakes up. Well,
And
not
I
wakes
like
up.
open your eyes
He
slowly.
opens his eyes and
And
gives the
I like-
instruction. And now we have this silence here with the translator. So how do we know where to stop, right? Well, what I like to do is to use my cell phone with Google Translate, just to check. And I use the transcript option. So I know this is Chinese. So let me put the English here. Chinese to English, or whatever your language is. Regularly I use whatever the language is to English, because the developers from Google use English as the base language. So in essence, it's more accurate any language to English than, for example, Chinese to Spanish or Chinese to Russian. It's more accurate to go to English, and I'm pretty sure that you guys speak English. So let's see how it goes. All right, I'm gonna play now the video, and let me mute first the English so there are no interferences. Okay, all right, here we go.
如果你准备好了，
如果你准备好了，可以慢慢的睁开眼睛。
开始就做了一个伸展，
我很喜欢，
然后我喜欢
开始就做了一个伸展，然后我喜欢摩擦我的双手，像这样，这是我一个中国的朋友教我的。然后
摩擦你的
双掌搓热之后，摩擦你的双眼，然后绕过你的头颅。
我感受到大家的冥想状态非常的好。
我感受到大家的冥想状态非常的好。我在这里其实一直都在。
Okay, so I noticed some issues here. Well, not kind of issues, but at the same tools. Sadly, this audio right here is combined at a very low level with the English. That is, for example, I want you to listen to something. Right here in the beginning, you can even hear Geshe Michael say, "Oh, now you can open your eyes." That is a good tool for us because now we can use it as a reference. So here we go. Check it out.
如果你准备好了，
如果你准备好了，可以慢慢的睁开眼睛。
开始就做了一个伸展，
我很喜欢，
然后我喜欢
开始就做了一个伸展，然后我喜欢摩擦我的双手，像这样，这是我一个中国的朋友教我的。然后
Cool. So I don't know if you could hear Geshe Michael in the background, but basically he says, "Okay, now you can open your eyes." And this is basically it. So what I will do here is I will select the playhead here. I'm going to split the clip, and then I'm going to go as close as possible right here. And then I will try to match this one right here. This is the part where Geshe Michael starts. That indicates me that then this other, I'm gonna go closer. Whoop. Yeah, here. That indicates me that this part corresponds to this one, all right? So I'm gonna do again a split. Drag right here. And then that's pretty much it. We select here the playhead, and then we these little bumps here, this is Geshe Michael, all right? So we better get rid of that, just for the sake of protecting the meditation of the audience, because it will be kind of disturbing for them to have, two voices there. So we basically we delete this part, because this part now is the audio of the and or the final screen, all right? And now what I will do is I will make sure that the Chinese corresponds. Okay, so let me do this again. Here we go.
如果你准备好了，
如果你准备好了，可以慢慢的睁开眼睛。
Oh, sorry guys, I didn't plan. All right, now using my app, I just proved that it does match. And pretty much this video is done. But let me tell you something very important. Here, okay, we haven't finished that. I forgot that we did this at the beginning. So now what we do is we select our video, and now that everything else is synchronized, we check this first part, right? And remember what we did. We select the file, we go to the edge of the file, and then we drag. We gotta be very careful, guys, to drag only when these two arrows show here, okay? If they don't show and we drag, we will move our file and then the synchronization will be lost. By the way, I will need to unmute this part here. Let me go. Yeah, this is better. All the way here, okay? And now we move our playhead. We get closer. There we go. So now we go here, split, delete, and then we go to after the side. We can cut it here. Let me go back here. Split. Why do we split here? Because if I drag this part and it's not split, it will bring everything to with if I drag and drop. So most of it is we start here. Okay. Now we do our what we did at the beginning. Again, guys, I would delete these parts right here. You can see the bumps where we can hear Geshe Michael. Hopefully the home office will provide isolated audios, so we don't have to do this manually. But let's see how it goes. But I would definitely get rid of them myself as an editor of the video to provide a better quality product, let's say. All right. Ooh. Oh, what just happened? Okay, I see the point. Yeah. Let me go back here. Yeah, I figured. Wow, this took longer than I expected. Of course, there are more efficient tools to do this. But I'm trying to use something that everyone has access to. So, and the process is pretty much the same, regardless of which tool do you use to do this. It's basically you just check the audio print and then play around to synchronize it, and it will take you once you are more experienced and you don't have to explain, this will take you, I don't know, maybe 1 hour or even less, depending on the quality of the audios, right? Chuk, 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 chuk. All right, I'm gonna pause because this will take longer. All right, guys, so we're pretty much set. Now, there's an important thing to keep in mind. The audio of this video is all linked together. And we have some pieces of audio in this one that are important for our final product, okay? One example of that is this initial audio for the intro that needs to be there. So what we will do in this case is we will place our playhead here, and then we will split, and then we will drag down to the these are called channels, by the way. Channel 1, channel 2. We will, well, some people call them lines, some people call them channels, some people call them some other ways. Anyway, let's call it layers. That's a good way to address them. So we basically try to drag them down so we can keep them as we have to drag them to a third one. So we can, every time we mute this one, this should remain, you can see, right? This remains audible, let's say. So if we play our video, it will go like this.
在脸上挂起浅浅的微笑，
在脸上挂起浅浅的微笑。
Okay. Now, here again. Gotta be careful with this Geshe Michael sound. Now we go all the way. It's better to go this way right in this at this moment, because that way I can see if there's something wrong. But now everything seems pretty decent. I noticed here, for example, this is Geshe Michael. And don't worry if the first times it takes you longer to notice these little details. It's mostly practice, and you're planting the seeds for it to work, so don't worry, guys. It'll work out. Cool. Now we keep going. All right, I'm gonna go all the way. Why? Because we have two things that we need to drag from the original audio right here. Whoop, select. Cool. Now the first one will be, of course, the closing. Split. Drag to the third. And around here should be the bell. It's weird. Why can't we see the... Oh, I'm so stupid. Here we go. Oh, cool. All right. So check it out, guys. Very important to see the audio stamp, to the audio print. All right. So this is the chime that we put to let people know, hey guys, whether you wake up or you finish your meditation, depending on how good your meditation was today. Now we put it around here. We give some kind of a space here, like we split here in order to avoid that the audio of the translator overlaps with the chime. The chime. I don't remember. Anyway. And actually, you know what? This one needs a little more detail. Alright, this seems pretty much done. So what we have to do now is to export the file. How do we do that? We go to the right top corner and select it. Click this little icon, and then we click on export file. And now we gotta make sure, wow, this is a big file, why? we gotta make sure that we put the correct naming convention, etc. on the file. And this is ACI 108 meditations 11001 Lojong. I like to indicate at the beginning what language is this, so this provides the archive people to spot right away which language are we talking about. That's kind of like a thing that I like, but maybe ACI likes to do it some other way. So resolution 1080, of course. Quality, let's see if this changes anything. Yeah, let's go to medium. The quality mainly means the audio, so medium is more than enough. And then compress, better quality. Faster, let's use. That one thing that I don't like about iMovie is that the files it exports are in a format that is very, you know what, let's try low. You can see here how if we go to high, it's 6 gigabytes. That's too much. But if we go to low, it goes down to 2 gigabytes, and that's pretty much the kind of quality that you want. You don't want any more than that, because you can even go to 3 megabits or something. Because, yeah, you know what? No, let's try low quality. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what's the kind of file that we get. And then, yeah. We copy the description. Next. And then we just select where we want, where do we want to store that information. We click save, and then we just wait for it to export. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and see you next time.